in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, text number 20th to 30th. It is discussed about demigods and impersonalists, and text 25th to 30th, it will discuss how we'll fall down, like that. Today we'll try to cover text number 24 to 30th. Okay. As usual, this presentation is dedicated to His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada. Is the founder Acharya of the entire ISKCON and Hare Krishna movement. And let us chant the prayers. First I'll chant, you please repeat. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachane Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine.
Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Yeah, the slides are moving, right? The slides are changing, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now we can see impersonalist philosophy. Normally, generally, what impersonalist thinks about the Supreme Lord, we'll just understand in few points. Impersonalists, they'll think impersonal Brahman as supreme. They'll think there are three features to the absolute truth, no? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. They'll forget about Paramatma and Bhagavan. They'll think only Brahman is the supreme highest, remaining all below that. That we'll see in the presentation. And they also think Krishna's form and past tense are temporary manifestations of Brahman in contact with matter. Because of Maya, only Krishna has taken birth as a person, and like that they'll think. They think Krishna as an ordinary human, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, are powerful living entity, that's all. They think Krishna also just an ordinary living being like us. Maybe he's a little powerful, that's all. Mystic power. He's a perfect mystic. Like that they'll think. They also think Krishna meditates on himself. That point is correct actually. Krishna, because he's the supreme person, there is no one superior to him. That's why he meditates on himself. When he was there personally, he used to do that. But it does not mean that we also has to meditate on ourselves. No, we are not the supreme beings. We should meditate on Krishna. Okay? And in our today's topic, Krishna is imperishable and supreme. Text number 7.24 says, Krishna is unborn and infallible. 7.25. 26 it says, Krishna knows past, present and future. We'll see. When we come, we'll discuss these points. First sloka, 7.24. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyate mam abhyudhyayah param bhavam ajananto mam avyayam anuttamam. You want me to tell word by word, or can I tell like this? You want me to tell word by word?
Yes, Prabhu. Line by line we can.
Yes.
We can listen.
Okay. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam
Avyaktam Vyaktim Apannam
Manyate mam abhyudayah.
Manyante Mam Abhyudaha
Param bhavam ajananto
Param Bhavam Ajananto
mam avyayam anuttamam.
Mam
Mam
Abhyayam
avyayam
Anuttamam.
anuttamam.
Okay. Translation is, unintelligent men who know me not think that I have assumed this form and personality due to their small knowledge. They do not know my higher nature, which is changeless and supreme. Krishna is telling in this translation, normally unintelligent, whose intelligence has stolen by Maya, they think that Krishna, they don't know anything about Krishna, but still they think that Krishna is formless. I have assumed this form and personal due to their small knowledge. And they don't know the Krishna's higher nature. What is, and which is changeless and supreme. That is the Krishna's higher nature is the supreme and it cannot be changed. That less intelligent people, they don't know. Then Lord Krishna in his personal form is speaking before Arjuna, and still due to ignorance, impersonalists argue that the Supreme Lord ultimately has no form. Normally, if you see in the battlefield, personally Krishna is standing next to Arjuna and he is telling, my nature, my opulences, my mind, like that, aham, avyayam, like that, everything is telling mind, like that. But still, these Mayavadis and impersonalists, they argue that that Krishna is different. That ultimately, this Brahman effulgence is the supreme. Like that, they think. They say like that. Of course, they think also. But Yamunacharya, a stalwart devotee, he says, Tvam Shila Rupa Charitaha Parama Prakashatai. Only devotees like Vyasadeva and Narada can only understand about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Others who are in the modes of ignorance and passion, they cannot understand. They says like that. Anybody who don't understand about the Supreme Lord, they are asuras, demons. Means all the impersonalists, Mayavadis, all are asuras. Vishnu Bhakta Bhave Daiva Shastra says. Means only Vishnu Bhaktas are demigods. Remaining all are asuras. That's what Yamunacharya says, not myself. Okay. And Brahma Samhita also says, actually, Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood only by studying. Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be understood just by studying Vedic literature. How one can understand? Only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, only one can understand. Until unless the mercy of the Supreme Lord is there, we cannot understand about Krishna. Even Shankaracharya says at the end of his life, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamate. Oh fools, whatever I thought till now, you just forget about all these things. You fools, you just do the bhajan of the Govinda. Specifically stated, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In his teaching, still his followers doesn't believe. Then I already told who is asuras. Persons who don't understand Krishna, absolute truth, they are asuras. All the impersonalists, everybody is asuras. Then who can understand Krishna? No one can understand Krishna without rendering devotional service and without developing Krishna consciousness. If one has to understand Krishna, means he has to be a devotee of Krishna, and he should learn from one more devotee. Who is Krishna? That and all we should learn from one more pure devotee. Then only we will be able to understand Krishna. And one cannot understand Krishna or his form, quality by or name simply by mental speculation or discussing Vedic literature. Also, simply by discussing this is like that, this is like that, maybe Krishna may be like this, Krishna would have been this one, this universe is came like that. They'll do no anumanaspada, means speculation, mental speculation. By doing like that, one cannot understand Krishna. Only if you have mercy from Krishna, mercy from a guru, we can understand Krishna. Actually, if you have a mercy of the Krishna, by the mercy of Krishna, will come and touch with the pure devotee. By the mercy of pure devotee, we'll understand about Krishna. Understood? Yeah. What do impersonalists think about Krishna? Normally, impersonalists think that Krishna is just like an ordinary person. He's the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, maybe a prince and a powerful living entity. They think like that. But they don't know he's the supreme personality of Godhead. See, when Krishna is speaking in the 4th chapter, he says, I remember all the lifetimes. He says, I told the same knowledge to Vivaswan, sun god. Then sun god explained to his son, Manu. Like that he says. Means, if he is also like us, is also one of us, how we will remember? Do we remember our past life? Can anybody tell, I remember my past life? I'm a son of so and so in my past life. No. Actually, we'll forget our past lives. That forgetfulness also, it's a mercy of Krishna one day. Otherwise, 10 lives back, if you are a pig, you are eating stool. If you remember that, what is your position now? Do you really think when you are eating a stool until if you remember now, could you exist? It's highly difficult. But people doesn't understand that. But Krishna remembers. That is the difference. Non-devotee impersonalist thinks that Krishna's body is made of material nature, Maya. He's also come under Maya, they says. Who thinks Krishna also came under Maya? They are only Mayavadis. Impersonalists are actually two categories, Brahmavadis, Mayavadis. One who don't understand supreme absolute truth has got form, they are Brahmavadis. But others said those things, supreme absolute truth, Krishna also came under Maya. He got form because of Maya. They are Mayavadis. Please understand. These impersonalists are known as Mayavadis, I already told. I think few previous verses, Prabhu explained what is the difference between Krishna's position and demigod position, and you would have discussed. Now, what are the things to be understood from Gita? The forms of the demigods and the forms of the Supreme are simultaneously existing. See, we are also existing and Supreme Lord also existing. That in Upanishads, one Upanishad it says, Nityo Nityana, means Nitya is a singular, Nityanam is a plural. You are also existing, we are also, all of you are also existing, like that Krishna says. Means all of us, including us, demigods, everybody existing eternally. Everybody has got small form, including ourselves. The Vedas also confirm that Supreme Absolute Truth, Anandamaya, are full of bliss and pleasure. If one doesn't have any form, how will get a pleasure? Suppose you think that, I'll put on your tongue one mica cover, full thick cover I'll put, and I'll put Rasagulla on the top of that. Will you able to taste that Rasagulla? No, it's not possible. The same way, if one doesn't have a form, how will be able to enjoy? How will get pleasure? Shastra is telling, Vedas are telling, is Anandamaya. And he is Abhyasa, is reservoir of all good qualities, all auspicious qualities. And he is Aja, unborn. Still, he appears as Lord Krishna, in the form of Krishna. that normally we cannot understand. Only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, mercy of the Guru, we'll be able to understand it. We cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be impersonal. The imposition theory of the impersonalist monist is false as far as the statements of Gita is concerned. Normally, Krishna, Mayavadi philosophers, they don't accept Krishna's Leelas, everything. They think that everything is Maya. And they also think that there is no Ananda. Hmm? Therefore, they come down again. Punar Mushiko Bhava. You know, no Punar Mushiko Bhava. Once it is told in the Shastras, these impersonalists goes to uh, there is a Kailasa Loka in between the Vaikuntha Lokas and in between Brahmajyoti. Some will go to Brahmajyoti, some will take a shelter at the Shiva. In association of the Shiva, they'll get be preached, and if they are okay, then they'll be get preached and they'll be elevated to Vaikuntha. Still, they are not listening again, they'll fall down. Like that, it is told in the Shastras. Nowadays, if you say, I want to construct a temple, give me some donation, means they don't give. But if you say, I want to construct a hospital, please give me donation, they'll give sufficient donations. And impersonalist also says, Jagan Mithya Brahma Satya. Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. Yes, this Jagat is one way Mithya, but it is temporary. It is not Mithya, it's not false. It's there, but we Vaishnavas, we say that this Jagat is there, but it's not false. It's temporary, only for short period of time, that's all. See, in the desert, the animals run behind these water vapors, oasis, and all. But it does not mean that they think that water body is there far away. They'll run behind. But when they go there, water body also goes far like that. It appears like that. But it does not mean that water bodies itself is not there. No, water bodies are there. Water bodies are there, please understand. But what is appearing is temporary. It's an illusion. That is Vaishnava's philosophy, Siddhanta. That's why whatever is there, we should engage in the Lord's service. So we should say Jagan, so why should I say Jagan Mithya? You have to utilize Jagat in such a way that it will become truth. That is the process. Samshitti Hartoshanam. It is the only business how to satisfy Krishna. Everything we will utilize in the service of the Krishna. Atapite deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugrita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachanya eko api chiram vichinvan. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Lord are unable to know you, even though they continue to study Vedas for many years. It is told in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 29. And Mahabharata, it is told, O Bruhaspati, he cannot be seen by you or us, but the persons to whom he gives mercy can see him. Only Lord for whom he gives mercy, they only can see the Lord. And in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Sukadeva Goswami says, Parinishtitopi nirgunya uttama shloka leelaya gruhita cheta rajarshe akyanam yad aditavan. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in the transcendence, yet I was still attached by the delineation of the past tense of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. This is Sukadeva Goswami's story. I think many of you knows this one. And Kumara says in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, just by smelling tulsi leaves, which is pasted on the lotus feet of the Lord, our minds got changed. I told no, in Maya, impersonalists, two categories are there. This Sukadeva Goswami and Kumaris are Brahmavadis. They are not Mayavadis. They don't know Lord has got form. They know supreme absolute truth is that is impersonalism, that's all. But they never thought Krishna or Vishnu's body is Maya. That's why they are not Mayavadis, they are Brahmadavadis. That's why they got the opportunity to become pure devotees. As soon as the Tulsi leaf smell entered the nostrils of the sages, the four Kumaras, their mind is changed and they understood everything. When Brahma is explained to them, they understood, okay, farm cannot have this one, unlimited, all these things and all. They understood unlimited means maybe mana without farm like that. But when they smelled the Tulsi leaf from the Lord's lotus feet, their knowledge is purified and they became pure devotees. Okay, we'll just see a video.
Once upon a time, in a village, lived a merchant who used to work very hard. He wanted to earn a lot of money so that he and his children would never be short of food. One day, he called his accountant and said, "Find out how much money I have and for how long will it be enough for me and my family." After a few days, accountant came with a calculation and said to merchant, "Sir, according to your expenditure done in the present, if it stays same and even if there is no income from today on, even then your next two generations can eat." Merchant was shocked. He said, "What? Then what will happen to my third or fourth generation? From where will they get food?" And from that day onward, merchant started thinking about them and started worrying too much about his third and fourth generation. Due to worry, slowly, he started getting sick. He took many treatments, but still there was no relief. One day, a friend of merchant came to see him and saw that he was not well and seemed very much worried. So friend asked him reason for his worry. Merchant said, "Even after earning so much, yet there is nothing for third or fourth generation. And I am always worried about how they will feed themselves." His friend understood his problem and said, "A monk has come to our town and he will stay here for a few days. He is very wise, and if you bring him food in the morning, then your problem will be solved." The very next day, merchant reached monk's place with the food. Monk welcomed him with respect and called his disciple saying that merchant has brought food for us. Disciple replied, "But master, for today, someone has already given us food." Listening to this, monk said to the merchant, "Sorry, my friend, but someone has already given us food for today, so we cannot accept your food. Our rule is to accept only one meal a day, which is given early in the morning. We accept it and can't take any more. I apologize." Merchant said, "Oh, then you keep it for tomorrow. Then you will not have to worry about tomorrow's meal. And also, I can bring fresh food for you tomorrow." Monk said, "No, my friend, we do not worry about tomorrow in our present. When tomorrow comes, then tomorrow's food will also be arranged." Merchant was surprised to hear the monk's word. He asked in surprise, "Sir, don't you worry about tomorrow's meal? What will you do if you don't get food tomorrow?" Monk smiled and said, "My friend, the God who has given us food today will give us food tomorrow also. And who has seen tomorrow? Who knows whether tomorrow will come or not? We only live in the present and don't worry about tomorrow." Hearing this, merchant bowed down to the monk and left for his home. Throughout the way, he kept thinking about what monk said, and he was thinking that the monk has no food for tomorrow, and still is not worrying about tomorrow. And here I am, worrying about my third and fourth generation. Merchant understood that we should not make our today unhappy by worrying about tomorrow. He left all his worries and started living happily. If we see in our lives, we will find that often We worry so much about our future that we make our today miserable. We always worry about how our future will be. What will be our financial condition in the future? Shall we be able to fulfill our responsibilities or not? What will happen to our children? What will be the future of our children? And worrying about the future, we forget that every moment we spend worrying about tomorrow is a moment we lose from enjoying today. Just look at the sparrows. They do not know what they will do in the next moment, what they will get to eat in the next moment, and still they manage to live a happy life. Let us literally live from moment to moment. If you want to live a happy life, then always believe that your tomorrow is going to be very bright and prosperous. Therefore, stop worrying about tomorrow, because worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, but it takes away today's peace.
Sorry, I think this because of the video, this is hanged. I think it will come out. By that time, we'll just see the next verse. We just finished 24th. I'll just read myself the 25th verse. We'll continue like that. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah moodoyam nabhijananti loko mam ajamavyayam. Translation. I'm never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I'm covered by my eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya. And so, the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. I think still it's taking time. I'll close and I'll open again. You are able to see the presentation?
Yes, Prabhu.
You're able to see now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. I already read the translation. Again, once again, I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. Why does Krishna not reveal to everyone just like when he was present on the earth? See, when he was present on the earth, also only few like Bhishma and Pandavas can know that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Everybody else is thinking Krishna is just like a normal man. Then it was not revealed to non-devotees and common men. He was manifest only to devotees as the reservoir of all pleasure, but to others, no. To unintelligent non-devotees, he was covered by his eternal potency. Actually, in Kunti Maharani prayers, in the first canto, chapter 18, it says, Maya Javanika Chanyam Agnadavyam Agnadakshasamavyayam Nalakshe Mudadrisho Natyadaro Yata. Like that she compares actually. Means Yogamaya curtain is covered to the people. They cannot understand your leelas, all these things. People are covered. They think in the drama, a person is passed away, they think he really passed away like that. But just drama is just in enacting. If a person died in the drama, it does not mean that he really died. Like the Krishna also, people understand like that. Supreme Lord is covered by the eternal potency of the Brahma Jyoti and is less intelligent impersonalists cannot see the Supreme on this account. Lord Krishna's energies are all inexhaustible. 10th canto Krishna says. Now this knowledge can be understood by a person who has made relationship with Krishna and is surrendered soul. Only Krishna's devotees, surrendered souls only can understand this. Without being surrendered, it is very difficult to understand the controller and the energies. How he is controlling everything. Tupyam prapanyaya asheshataha samagrena upadakshayami. The condition. You will find in the latter chapters that Krishna say, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. Just like if you enter into the educational institution, if you don't surrender yourself to the rules and regulations of the institution, how you can get advantage of the knowledge imparted by the institution? Everywhere, wherever you want to receive something, you have to be controlled or you have to be surrendered to the rules and regulations. Just like in our class, we are imparting some lessons from Bhagavad Gita, and if you do not follow the rules and regulations of this class, if is it not possible to receive the knowledge? And Prabhupada is telling it's not possible to receive the knowledge if you didn't surrender. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10th canto 84th chapter, it says, Nayam vidyanti ami bhupa ekaramasya vishniyah maya javani kachanyam atmanam kalam ishwaram. It says neither these kings nor even Vrishnis, the family of Vrishnis means Krishna's family, who enjoy your intimate association. They are always associated with Krishna. Still they cannot understand about Krishna, it seems. Know you as the soul of all existence, no, they cannot understand. The force of the time and supreme controller. For them, you are covered by the curtain of Maya, Yoga Maya. The curtain of Maya, you are covered. I already told you Maya journey Karchanya Magna Dokshazamavyam Nalakshase Mudadrisha Nato Natyadaro Yatha. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternal, irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as the actor dressed as a player is not recognized. In a drama, if an actor is dressed as a player, he is not recognized sometimes. That time, foolish people think he's a character like that. But the original people, they didn't understand. Like that same thing happens in Krishna's thing also. The story. Arjuna fighting for the Lord. Actually, Duryodhana is fighting for the self, but Arjuna is fighting for the satisfaction of Krishna after hearing Bhagavad Gita. Whatever Krishna says, Arjuna does that. Once what happens, because Pandavas going little victoriously, this is before passing of Bhishma Deva, Pandavas are almost about to conquering all these things. Then Duryodhana goes to Bhishma Pitamaha and he says, see, you are such an expert warrior. You fought in so many fightings, in so many yuddhas you fought. Still in front of you, how come these 5 Pandavas can stand? Means something is stopping you behind. Maybe the love, the affection to the 5 Pandavas may be stopping you from killing them. Like that, he puts some arguments to Bhishma Deva. Bhishmadeva could understand the mind of Duryodhana, he says, and he takes 5 arrows and he says, see, with these 5 arrows, tomorrow I am going to kill the 5 Pandavas. He says. Then Duryodhana can be kept quiet, no? He thinks, okay, if he loses these 5 arrows, something will happen. He won't be able to kill the 5 Pandavas. So he asks Bhishma, you please give me those 5 arrows, I'll keep with me safely. Bhishma Deva says, why I'll keep with you? No, I'll keep with me safely. Okay, Bhishma Deva gives it to him, Duryodhana. Then Krishna is the Paramatma in everyone's heart. He knows everything. Then he goes to Arjuna and says, see, when you saved Duryodhana from the Gandharvas, he gave you one promise. Whatever you ask, he'll give. Then you go and ask that promise now. That thing is happening. This is the situation. You go and get the 5 arrows. Krishna says to Arjuna. Then Arjuna goes. This everything happening during the night, because only during the day the soldiers will fight. During the night they'll sit and they'll in their tents, all these things, they'll take meal, some massages, something, some medication, something is required, like that they'll be taken care. Then during the night Arjuna comes to the tent of Duryodhana and he asks Duryodhana, welcome Arjuna, please come. Why you came? You want? See, when I saved you from Gandharvas, you gave me one promise. You remember? Duryodhana says, of course I remember. I gave you. You want the kingdom? You tell me. I'll give you. No. Kingdom I'll fight and I'll gain. But I want those 5 arrows. You give it to me. Then Duryodhana is bound to fulfill his promise. Then he gives off these 5 arrows. Like that, Krishna saved these 5 Pandavas. See, Arjuna didn't say anything. Whatever Krishna is telling, he's doing. Arjuna is just fighting for the satisfaction of Krishna. Okay. The next sloka, 7.26. I'll read myself, then I'll read first, then you can repeat after me. Vedaham samatitani.
Vedaham samatitani.
Vartamanani charjuna.
Vartamanani charjuna.
Bhavishyani cha bhutani.
Bhavishyani cha bhutani.
Mam tu vedana kasyana.
Mam tu vedana kasyana.
Okay, the translation is, O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. See, he is telling, I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Krishna is telling, I know the past, I know the present, that's why, and all things that are yet to come. I know past and present, because that's why I also know future. I also know all the living entities, but me no one knows. Of course, pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada knows Krishna. This is in general, like us people, Krishna is telling for us. What is the qualification for one to know of the past, present, and future? See, unless one is liberated from the material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future. And he should not have changed his body. See, we are changing our bodies in each and every life. That's why we are forgetting our past. If you don't change your body, you don't forget your past. You remember everything. And if you want to know, you should be purified from the material contamination, so you may understand future. Of course, that is only possible for some pure devotees and Supreme Personality of Godhead to understand future. If the form of Krishna is considered by the impersonalists to be Maya, then how come he can understand? If he changed his body, he cannot understand his past, his present. It means Krishna never changed his body. Unlike an ordinary human being, Lord Krishna clearly says that he completely knows everything what happens. And in I already quoted no Bhagavad Gita 4.1. He remembered everything. When he's explained the same thing to Vivashwan, that also is there. Actually, Shastra says Krishna is like a sun. Maya is like a cloud. Maya can cover our vision, not Krishna. See, cloud is such a small thing. Even scientifically, sun is such a big, huge one. Such a huge sun can be covered by small cloud? No. But cloud can cover our vision. Thinking that the sun is not there. That much cloud can do. Because we are in Maya, we think that sun is covered by clouds. That is only illusion. Okay? Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand Sri Krishna without being in Krishna consciousness. Until unless one becomes a surrenders to a pure devotee or surrenders to the Supreme Lord, one cannot understand this Bhagavan feature. Prabhupada is telling something. So, if we are intelligent, we will assist and get the credit. Otherwise, someone else will. To improve Krishna consciousness movement and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, Prabhupada is telling like this. The impersonalists thus cannot conceive of the Lord's eternal spiritual form of eternal knowledge, bliss, and existence. Sachidananda Rupa of Krishna, they cannot understand. The impersonalists cannot understand. The reason is that the Lord reserves the right of not exposing himself to the non-devotees. Even after thoroughly studying the Vedic literature like Bhagavad Gita, remains an impersonalist simply by obstinacy. This obstinacy is due to the action of Yoga Maya, a personal energy of the Lord that acts like an aid camp by covering the vision of the obstinate impersonalist. It simply covers the impersonalist vision. Even after reading Bhagavad Gita, after reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, they cannot understand. Jnanam yad etad adahtad katama sadeva traikalikam sthiracharvesh anuvartitamasam tam jiva karma padavim anuvartamana tapatrayopamana vayam bhajema. No one other than the Supreme Lord as the localized Paramatma, the partial representation of the Lord, is directing all intimate and animate objects. He is present in the three phases of time, past, present, and future. Therefore, the conditioned soul is engaged in different activities by his direction. And in order to get free from the threefold miseries of this conditioned life, we have to surrender unto him only. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto, 31st chapter, it is told like this. One has to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to understand Krishna. Okay. Now, we'll go to the text number 27, Ichcha Dvesha. Very nice sloka. Please repeat after me. Ichchadvesha samuttena
Ichchadvesha samuttena
Dvandva-mohena bharata
mohena bharata
Sarvabhutani sammoham
sarvabhutani sammoham
Sarge yanti. Yeah.
sarge
Oh, sign of Bharata, Arjuna, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate. See, this icha, vesha, desire and hate. It's like a pendulum. If you have seen some physics experiment, there is a pendulum will be there. For oscillations, will do like this. It will go this side, 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 like this. It will be oscillating. Sometimes by hearing devotees lectures and all, we think, oh, Krishna has got form, all these things and all. Again, after we will go to some other Mayavadam and they'll say, no, 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 it's nothing Maya, everything is Maya, like, oh, everything Maya. Then we'll come here, Krishna has got form, supreme absolute truth. Then again, Maya. So like this, we'll be doing like this, desire and hate. The pendulum will be going on like this until understand you surrender yourself to the Guru or Krishna. This will be Icha Desha Samuttena Dvanda Mohena Bharata. This is the Dvanda duality in a person cannot go. Whether I want to eat this, I want to eat that. Always confusion will be there, no? Like that, the confusion will be there in this also if you don't surrender. What is the real constitutional position of a living entity? Entity is the subordination to the Supreme Lord, servant to the Supreme Lord. One who understand, it is understood that he is exactly in knowledge, he is exactly in pure knowledge. What happens when one becomes deluded by pure knowledge? One becomes controlled by illusory energy, Maya, and he cannot understand the Supreme Law. How does the illusory energy affect? The illusory energy is manifested in duality of desire and hate. Sorry. Small moodas are working hard only to become happy, and big moodas are wants to become God. Small moodas want to become a minister or president, something like that. But big moodas want to become God. It's Prabhupada's quotes. I am not telling. The disease is same. I shall become most powerful, but that is not possible. Only Krishna is most powerful. See, one cannot become most powerful because Krishna is already there. We are tiny living entities, we can become tiny powerful, that's all. Maybe little minister, president of India, something like that they can become, otherwise no. Okay, what are the symptoms of such a delusion? The ignorant person wants to become one with the Supreme Lord. Desire is and envies Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. It is hatred. And he want to merge in the Brahma Jyoti and he hates Krishna. Why Krishna want to enjoy alone, like that he thinks. Think that Supreme Personality of Godhead is created by material energy. This is their misfortune. Symptomatically well in dualities of dishonor and honor, misery and happiness, women and man, good and bad, pleasure and pain. In these dualities, he'll be pendulum. Pendulum will be going this side, that side, happy, all these things. That's why those who are deluded by dualities are completely foolish and therefore cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you are deluded in this pendulum, you cannot understand Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yadruchaya mat katadau jata shraddhastu ya puman na nirvinno natishto bhakti yogosya siddhidaha. If someone or other by good fortune one develops faith in hearing, Sorry. If someone or other, by good fortune, one develops faith in hearing and chanting my glories, such a person being neither very disgusted with nor attached to material life, should achieve perfection through the path of loving devotion unto me. With loving devotion and service, he'll achieve. Otherwise, they'll be in pendulum. I want one more. I think you heard about this story, 99 Club. Did you? Did you guys heard about this story?
Yeah, it's about getting the 100th coin, no?
Yes, you are right. In a kingdom, the king is not happy. But a servant who is working in the kingdom, he is very happy, it seems. Then king goes to him and asks, why are you so happy? Then he says, see, I'm a simple person, whatever gets, we'll take purchase some goods and we'll eat. And we have small roof is sufficient. That's why we are very happy, he says. Then king surprises and he puts this discussion in between, in front of his ministers. One of his ministers says, my dear Lord, I think he has not yet joined the 99 Club. If he joins 99 Club, he loses his happiness. He also become morose. He says like that. What is the 99 Club? The king asks. Then they explains. See, tomorrow morning, a bag full of 99 gold coins, you just leave in front of that house servant. Then what will happen, we'll see. Then king, he puts exactly 99 gold coins and he leaves in front of exactly doorstep of that servant's house. Then servant, he opens door regularly and he sees this bag and he sees the gold coins. Oh my God, I got gold coins like that. He's so happy. Then he counts, 99 is there. How come 99 is there? Normally 100 should be there. No. I should make this gold coins into 100. From today onwards, I'll work hard. He thinks, he determines, and he plans how to work hard, how to earn, how to save money, all these things. From that day onwards, he started working. He explains his family not to expend so much, not to spend so much like that, and all. He starts work so hard like that. From that day onwards, he loses his happiness. That is 99 Club. Actually, with the 99 gold coins, he can be happy. But he thinks he wants one more gold coin, 100 gold coin. That is the only problem. 100 gold coins and 99, only one gold coin is different, that's all. When he's 0 gold coins, that time he's happy. With 99 gold coins also he would have been happy, but no, he wants 100 gold coins. After 100 comes, he wants 110 gold coins, like that, it will go on. Okay. Next we'll go to 28th sloka. Tesham tvantagatam papam
Tesham antagatam papa
jananam punya karmanam
jananam punya karmanam
te dvanda moha nirmukta
te dvandva moha nirmukta
bhajante mam dudavratah.
bhajante mam drudavrata.
Yeah, translation. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are free from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Krishna is telling, if anybody became free from this duality, duality, this dvanda, and is free from sinful actions, that person can perform devotional service. Those eligible for elevation to the transcendental position are mentioned in this verse that I already mentioned. Who cannot transcend the duality of desire and hate? Those who are sinful, atheistic, foolish, and deceitful. These people, they cannot come out from this Dvanda Moha, duality of desire and hate, they cannot come. Those who are sinful, atheistic, and foolish and deceitful. Deceitful, sorry, the pronunciation is deceitful. These people cannot come out from this one. What is the position of impersonalists? The impersonalists do not know that forgetting their constitutional position as subordinate to the Supreme Lord is the greatest violation of the God's law. Unless one is reinstated in his own constitutional position, it is not possible to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be fully engaged in his transcendental loving service with determination. Unless one understands, see the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, they cannot understand devotional service, they cannot come to devotional service. Then what is the process of being situated on the spiritual platform? Only those who passed their lives in practicing the regulative principles of religion, who have accepted piously and have conquered sinful reactions, gradually raise to the pure knowledge of the Supreme Lord and meditate on Him. Only these people can raise slowly, meditate on Him. This elevation is possible in Krishna consciousness, in the association of the pure devotees who can deliver one from delusion. See, that's why association is so important. Even regular devotees association also is very important. By association, our illusion and delusions will be gone away. If some doubts are there, devotees will clarify that actually. That is the thing. Okay. One who associates with materialistic people is on the path of leading to the darkest region of existence. Actually, it's hell. All the devotees of the Lord traverse this earth just to recover the conditioned souls from their delusion. Normally, pure devotees comes to deliver us from the delusion and illusion. God consciousness is not a cheap thing. Esham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. One who is completely free from all contamination of material modes, antagatam papam, means all the sinful activities are gone away. Can te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajantema, can stick to the principles of devotional service. Otherwise, if he is not free from the contamination of sinful life, he may make a show of devotion, but that is not actual devotion. Bhaktya-abhyasa, that is called Bhaktya-abhyasa, just only abhyasa bhakti. All the people are nowadays educated, but all of them, mostly 99%, they're engaged in sinful activities. Illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, gambling. These are sinful activities. And in spite of advancement of education all over the world, these things are going on. Therefore, they cannot understand Krishna. Krishna is understood by a person who is no more engaged in sinful activities. Prabhupada is telling, who is free from sinful activities, they are only able to understand about, they will only understand Krishna and Krishna consciousness. Videha uvacha manye bhagavata sakshat prasadanvo madhudvishaha vishnor bhutani lokanam Pavanaya Charantihi. King Videha said, I think that you just be direct associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is famous as the enemy of demon Mathu. Indeed, the pure devotees of Lord Vishnu wandered throughout the universe not for their personal selfish interest, but to purify all the conditioned souls. Yamna Yogena Sankhena Dana Vratata Po Dvarai Vakya Swadhyaya Sanyasai Prapunya Yantavanapi. Even though one engages with great endeavor in the mystic yoga system, philosophical speculation, charity, vows, finances, ritualistic sacrifices, teaching of the Vedic mantras to others, the personal study of the Vedas, or the renounced order of life, still one cannot achieve me. Krishna is telling. Even the one engages in great endeavor in mystic yoga system, philosophical speculation, charity, vows, finances, ritualistic sacrifices, and teaching Vedic mantras to others, and studying the Vedas, and renouncing also. Still, one cannot understand or one cannot achieve Krishna. Whole to flower. What is the story? I forgot. Okay, we are running late. Short of time. I'll go to 29th verse. Jara marana mokshaya mam astritya yanti yatanti yatanti ye te brahma tadvidu krishnam adhyatma karma chakilam. Jara marana mokshaya mam astritya yatanti ye te brahma tadvidu krishnam adhyatma karma chakilam. Translation: intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they are entirely know everything about transcendental and fruitive activities. And there is a saying also in the Vedanta Sutra, Brahma janeti iti Brahmana. Who understand the Supreme Lord, Brahma, is actually a Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. It is said that one should understand that he is a Brahman spirit soul. The Brahman conception of life is also in devotional service, as described in this verse. The pure devotees are transcendentally situated on the Brahman platform, and they know everything about transcendental and material activities. Pure devotional service compared to the other paths. Four kinds of impure devotees. They achieve their respective goals and also gradually becomes fully Krishna consciousness. Demigod worshippers never reach the Supreme Lord in his supreme planet. Less intelligent Brahman realized persons cannot reach the supreme planet of Krishna. Who are entitled to be called as Brahman? Only persons who perform activities in Krishna consciousness, Mam Ashritya, are actually entitled to be called as Brahman. I already told you, Brahma Janeti ti Brahmana. Brahmana means you should understand about Krishna, then only he is called as a Brahman. Because they are actually enduring to reach Krishna's planet, such persons have no misgivings about Krishna. Who else can understand about Brahman? Those who are engaged in worshipping the form of Archa, Murti of the Lord, who are engaged in meditating on the Supreme Lord simply by liberation from material bondage, also know by the grace of the Lord the purports of Brahman. Even if one meditates on the Lord, they will also understand. One just simply by understand worshipping the Lord also can understand slowly. Sakrudyad anga pratimantar ahita Manomayi Bhagavatam Dadogatim. If even only once or even by the force one brings the form of the Supreme Personality of God into one's mind, one can attain liberation by the mercy of Krishna. Lord Krishna says, Jarana Marana Mokshaya Mamasritya. If one has the ambition of getting out of these clutches of birth, death, old age, and disease, then he should be intelligent enough and understand Krishna consciousness. And by understanding all these things, and he should perform Krishna consciousness activities and should perfect his life and go back to Godhead. The activity should be in Krishna consciousness. Whatever activity is doing, the activity should be in Krishna consciousness. If you want to eat food, it should be first offered to Prasad, Bhoga to the Lord, then you can honor Prasadam. Like that. All activities should be in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Now we'll go to the last sloka. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadi yajnam cha ye viduhu prayanakale pichama te viduryukta chetasaha. Translation: those who know me as the Supreme Lord, as the governing principle of the material manifestation, who knows me as the one underlying all the demigods and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can with steadfast mind understand and know me even at the time of death. Persons acting in Krishna consciousness never entirely deviated from the path of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can understand how the Supreme Lord is the governing principle of the material manifestation and even of the demigods. Gradually, by such transcendental association, one becomes convinced of the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And at the time of death, such a Krishna consciousness person can never forget Krishna. Actually, it is told, Antikale Narayan Shruti. Anybody who remembers Krishna or Narayana at the time of death, they are liberated. They'll be liberated. They'll go to Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka like that. That's why, suppose actually one lady in Australia, she asks Prabhupada one question. Swamiji, I have not seen Krishna, but here I have seen you. At the time of death, by doing something, if I remember you, will I go back to Godhead or not? She asks the question. Then Prabhupada thinks a while and he answers, yes, you'll go back to God. Why? Because whatever we think about Pitas, we think about demigods, to that loka we'll go. We'll already learn, no? In Bhagavad Gita. That's why Prabhupada is belong to Goloka Vrindavana. If anybody thinks about Srila Prabhupada, they'll go back to Goloka Vrindavana. That way. What is Dodavrata? He who is actually elevated in Krishna consciousness does not care for the different processes. And he follows only Krishna consciousness process. He don't follows that Brahman, Paramatma, all these processes, so many other processes for the spiritual path. He don't follow any other path. He follows only Krishna consciousness path. He simply engages himself in activities of Krishna consciousness and thereby factually attains his constitutional position as eternal servant of the Lord Krishna. Actually, constitutional position of a jiva is a servant of Krishna. By rendering service, again we will go and in the Vaikuntha Loka, again we will become his servitor. He takes pleasure in hearing and glorifying the Supreme Lord in pure devotional service. He is convinced that by doing so, all his objectives will be fulfilled. This determined faith is called Dudavrata, and it is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga, transcendental loving service. That is the verdict of the scriptures. This 7th chapter of the Gita is the substance of that conviction. This 7th chapter of Gita is the substance of that conviction. What is that conviction? Determined path, Dudavrataha, that conviction. And it is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga, the transcendental loving service. Okay. The story of Narada. The story of Narada, how Narada got this life. Actually, Narada has got two past lives. Actually, once he was a Gandharva. He's a singer, very popular singer. And he's little attached to women also. Once, all the demigods, they called this Apsara, demigod, for singing in the assembly of the demigods, for praising the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna and Vishnu. But he goes and he sings in between by seeing all these apsaras. He added some other lines Then there the devotees curses him because he acted as a Chandala. Instead of singing the glories of the Supreme Lord, purely contaminated the glories. So he acted like a Chandala, he became a Chandala, like that they curses. Then by the mercy of the Lord, of course, he becomes the Chandala in his next life. By mercy of the Lord, it so happens that he associates with Mahabhagavatas and he takes their remnants during the Chaturmasya and he hears their Bhagavata lectures. And after that, he wants to leave the house and go away. But he thinks, see, one old mother is there, no father. How she'll maintain herself? He thinks like that. Then a Kala in the form of the snake, she beats his mother. When she got up and in the early morning, she goes to milk the cow. In the path, a snake beats Narada's mother and she passes away. Then he understands after performing all the rites, all these things, he starts walking towards the north, towards the spiritual world. He walks, when he's walking, so many gold hills will come. So many diamond, golds, nice pearls, all these things will come. You don't get attracted to all these things. He walks towards north direction, and because he walked so far, he gets fatigued, and he sits one under a banyan tree, and he drinks some water, and he starts meditating on Paramatma. Because Lord is pleased with him, and he gives him darshan. For a moment, that's all. Just one moment, he gives him darshan. He sees the Lord Janardana. Lord Janardana is standing in the lotus wheel, and he sees Chanka Chakra Gada Padma. He does all these things for a moment, that's all. So he sees and is pleased so much. He's pleased in such a way that he got so much pleasure by seeing the Lord. He wants to try again in the same process. He sits and he meditates again, but he didn't see. But he hears one voice. See, in this life, you are entitled to only this much vision, that's all. But you continue this meditation. In your next life, you will become Narada. Like that, the Lord says to him. That is the story. Now, of course, next life, you will become the pure devotee. And you'll get the anywhere you can go to spiritual world also, you can come to Bhuloka also, you can go to Swargaloka also, you can go to Patal Loka also. Anywhere, wherever you want, you can go and you can make the devotees. Like that boon he gets actually from the Lord Vishnu. Okay, I'll stop here. If anybody has got any questions, one or two, I'll try to answer. Any questions? I think no questions. All of you understood nicely. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu,
you.
for the wonderful lecture. Hare Krishna.